Episode
666.
I can confirm the royal penis also is of the required girth and volume, yes.
BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Welcome, one and all, to BRB UK episode 666. It is the number of the devil. That is what we're leaning into this show. I'm going to see how long I can keep this voice going. How long do you think I can keep it going, Coleman?
Not bloody long, I hope. Hi!
Why? Why? Oh, hello. You're right. No, it didn't last long. I'm Dan. Hello.
No, good.
Ahoy, hoy, as I usually say.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah, 666. BRB UK. I can't believe we made it to 666.
It's the number of the beast.
It is the number of the beast, and I'm sure... I kind of feel like we ought to have at least like Doom or something to review this show, or should talk about it, but we haven't. Such is the poor timing and poor forethought for us to hold until the next Doom game comes out. Get 666 that way. Terribly, terribly poor form. I can apologise. Coleman's getting fed up with me already. I can tell.
I was going to say, Dan, Sacrificed isn't going on tonight. In fact, podcasting is going on tonight, but also an Xbox Live developer stream thing that's we're missing out on. So,
oh, really?
We won't be talking about that because it's happening right now.
Is it happening right now? And is everything still an Xbox? That's what I want to know. What I want to know.
Sure, why not? But that's okay. We'll focus on this another time.
Okay, let's do that. Let us do that. Now, you've not just made me look now.
Don't look. You get too distracted by these things.
I'm looking.
I don't like it.
It's Forza Horizon 6. I knew that. That's what I knew. Anyway,
Coleman
I'll stop
here.
looking. Hi, sorry. I got dreadfully distracted. I blame Coleman. Hello. How are we all doing this evening? Are we okay? Are we good?
I don't think they're going to answer.
No, I don't think they might in chat, which would be nice. Yeah, we have had yet another week of video games, and it's quite nice to talk about silly things rather than the absolute dumpster fire that is Western civilization at the moment. So, yeah, we're going to talk about silly things we've done played, other bits of silliness in video game news, and hopefully have a rip snorter of a time as we go. But many of you tune into the show are people who are not British because we're British and people quite like the only people in the US of late like people and things that are British, and we are things that are British, and we've got a very British thing to talk about this week because that's the game we have both been playing, and it's a game called Earth Must Die. Earth Must Die. It is an adventure point and clicky thing. Brought to you by Size 5, No More Robots. Available on Steam at the moment, and is very notable, not only for being, I think there hasn't been a lot of awesome point and click stuff for a little while, so it's nice to have a game that is a bit point and clicky. But it has truly the great and the good of the British comedy scene doing voice work for it, such as Alex Horne, who, those of you who like Taskmaster probably are aware of him. And there's like all Tamsin Greig, there's Sophie Duker, there's Ben Starr, who's obviously from Claire Obscure,
Expedition 33.
And there's plenty more beside it. I mean, I had a list somewhere of the great luminaries, but I've managed to mislay it, so I'm slightly vamping for time. There we go. Stevie Martin's in there. There is all kinds of people. There is Martha Ho Douglas, who does a wonderful job as your sidekick, and
Joel Fry from Plebs.
Fry from and Game of Thrones as well. So this is a very British bit of video game goodness, and has given me plenty of giggles. What say you, Coleman? Tell me about your time with Earth Must Die, because you've finished the game. I haven't the opportunity to finish it yet, but I've been very much enthralled by all of the intergalactic whimsy, because I think that's probably a fair way to describe the game.
That's fair. So I'm a huge fan of point and clicks, especially the old school ones, and I have been. I mean, you say that points and clicks aren't really around, and I think they just don't get the notoriety than they used to. You know, when there used to be a Sierra and the LucasArts pumping these things out, then they were big news, and there were a lot of kind of pretenders to the throne along the way. Hasn't been that way for quite some time, and we were talking about Dispatch last year, which is the kind of the progression of the point and click, where the evolution of the point and click, where it became more like the Telltale type adventure game. But the traditional point and click does exist. We have spoken about them, a couple of them on this show. Take a look. There's a few upcoming as well. This one caught my eye, and it's mainly because of the marketing campaign behind it does heavily focus on the voice actors that are involved in this game. And, you know, that's a good way of getting your kind of foot in the door. The developers were kind enough to send us 2 copies of the game over so we could play as well. As you said, Dan, I have completed this game. Couple of things. Not a traditional point and click in the sense of in a point and click, you know, you got a menu and you pick up objects and you rub objects on things to find the answer to a puzzle so you can progress the game. That's
and
traditional way of a point and click.
The defense rests, my lad. I was rubbing that on a thing to solve a puzzle. Of course you were. Yes,
also, the controls usually heavily are dependent on the mouse and keyboards. On the mouse itself. So you point in an area, your character walks to that area, you point on an object, you interact with the object, you look, you talk, that kind of thing. Everything's done through mouse. This one, you've got 2 choices. You either use controller, use your left stick to move around, your right stick as your cursor, or use a mouse and keyboard. So you use WASD to move around, and then you use the mouse to interact with items and go through speech menus. It's a very kind of toned down system. There's no object inventory type thing. There is only speech and looking and interaction. So you can, if you've got a command of someone or you know an object in a background can be used, you click on it, you go to a use, and then you drag it to another item or another scenario or person to get it to interact. But most of the game is it's down in the speech and how you're interacting with people. Interesting game. I really like the writing of this game. There are a lot of, even though hidden away, a lot of kind of very British Easter eggs in there.
Yes.
There's a point which, I won't say where it is, but there was reading through something, and there was a reference to Earth drinks, Earth beverages, and in the listing is a weak lemon drink, which I did laugh at that a bit.
Yes.
So I like hidden things like that.
And things like deep fried Mars bars get a mention as well.
Yeah.
So I'd say the basics, we probably ought to explain what the basic setup of this game and actually try and help you understand why Earth must indeed die. So you are playing Valak Lizard Tongue, a man with
2 Vs.
2 Vs, not 1 V, 2 Vs, who is the Grand Shepherd of the Trithian Empire. Now, what on earth does that mean, and how did you get to become a Grand Shepherd? So, the start of this game, and it's not too much spoiler because I believe this is in the demo that is available now.
It's in the demo, the trailer, and the start.
Yes, indeed. So it's not too spoilery, but you have happened upon the Grand Shepherdship of the Empire because your father got murdered to death in a rebellion by some scallywags, and you are third in line and very much the brunt of the litter to the throne. But somehow you end up becoming the Grand Shepherd, and let's just say, well, you're a snivelling toad, and the power goes to your head. And this is all slightly of the comeuppance comes to Valak 2Vs, as he's trying to restore the Trithian Empire to the glory that he feels it should, and probably indirectly himself the glory he thinks he should be afforded as well. You're accompanied through your adventures by your nurse bot, Milky, who is a fantastically voiced and written character. And Milky is literally is a flying robotic tit, I would say, complete with synthetic nipple, who Valak was meant to stop associating with when he was a young lad.
Yeah,
but still
he's never weaned off of it.
He's never weaned off weaned off the Milky bot
Because
so that's the basic
brat.
setup. And you being a spineless, snivelling coward is pretty much the comedy riff, which this plays through as you try and reclaim the Tridian Empire from Earth.
The Terrians.
Yeah, the Terrans. Terranoids, as they call them.
Terranoids.
So, yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I will say, for the sheer amount of voice talent that is in there, a lot of them are kind of put in much more minor roles and don't appear to. I mean, we mentioned Alex Horn earlier. I think he plays 2 or 3 different characters, but they're quite small parts in the game. So you don't get used to them. The main voice is going to be the main 2, Valak and Milky. But yeah, I really enjoyed the writing, the voice acting, the style of the game. I love a point and click. I love the very much the humor. Some of the political notes, little bit heavy-handed for my taste. You know, you've got a character that is very clearly a stand-in for elongated muskrat. You know, you've got some kind of. I'm assuming it's meant to be the sort of Brexit notes, or the kind of corrupt politics, and there's some very kind of you know, wearing tweed in a cozy pub because that's what posh twits think that poor people look like, act like, you know, that kind of idea. So that's all funny. But the absurdity of a lot of the comedy setups, there's a moment in this game where you have a broken button, and in order to fix the button, rather than replace the button, you inject it with a micro universe. So they have one goal in life, which is to fix the button. But oh no, democracy has infested the micro universe, so you have to shrink down and try and crush that.
Yep. So I mean,
I love those scenarios.
I do love the absurdity humor. I mean, I have to say, the bits of the game I've played through, I kind of feel it feels generally very well written, and the primary cast are very, very good. Like Joel Fry does an excellent job.
I found him a little grating to begin with, but he grew on me.
Yeah, I quite liked it. I kind of quite like the slightly ridiculous accent that he gave Valak, somewhere between Transylvanian and French.
I was definitely getting What We Do in the Shadows.
yeah. And Ben Starr does a great job as well. But for me, the real standout was Martha Howe Douglas, who I think does a brilliant job as Milky.
She is great. Also, a nod to one of my favorite games that came out a couple of years ago. Thank goodness you're here. John Blythe, who is like one of my favorite people in the world, is in this game playing the head of the Council of the Space Orgies. Which
yes,
really like. It's very well suited.
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
I forgot there is, and there's a scene in a sex shop which actually gets a call out for. I believe there's a warning on it. There is a mature content description. As a result, there is a puzzle that takes place in an alien adult bookshop and an alien orgy depicted as a gyrating lump on the floor. So it's all good
adult.
times. It is very, very adult. So in terms, I think kind of the script's generally very strong. The acting by and large is pretty strong. There are some members of some of the comedy, the comedy notables. Looking at you, Sophie Duker. It slightly felt like they were faxing it in a tad, I have to say. But generally speaking, the quality of the delivery is very good. I did feel, however, though, that the script and the voice delivery was doing quite a lot of heavy lifting for what is an okay adventure game. I think it is.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it's not doing anything that kind of really pushes the boundaries. And I know, it's difficult to separate out the script and the delivery from the game itself. But I kind of felt that there wasn't, because of the lack of kind of building an inventory of items and working out how to combine them to do a thing, which can often be a bit obscure. I kind of felt it felt very set piecey in places, and if it wasn't for the voice cast, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm a big fan of a lot of the people who are in this game, I'm not sure I would have pushed through. I have to say.
That's fair. My big one was, so they have this system called the Milkipedia. So Milky, the sidekick, they have a
Yeah, they have a kind of Wikipedia where they're keeping information on things that they encounter along the way to help you out, which is a good read. But a big part of that is, okay, I've now clicked on all the objects around me and I don't know what to do. I know, check the Milkypedia, look at a thing that that relates to this. And you don't particularly have to read through the page. It will just, you'll get Valak giving a voiceover and, I know what to do in this section now. And then you go out and then you know what to do in this section. But it's a bit of a shame because if you don't read through, there's a lot of good comedy there that you're missing out on. So that was one thing. I think the big criticism for me, and it's one that you're not going to notice unless you actually go through the whole game. The kind of fourth act, it feels very rushed and kind of it ends very abruptly, which was a little bit disappointing. And the only reason I've gone back to it because I've written a first draft of a review, which I'm hoping to get done by Monday. I'm not quite happy with it, but I'm hoping to get that done by Monday. So I'm playing through again, and I've done some scenarios, more than one time, and I like that there's a chapter select for me to go back through and do some trophy hunting and stuff. So that's all good. But yeah, the way it just kind of ended, I was like, I could have done with it just, there's like revelations and things that all happen within the last kind of half an hour of the game, and then it's just done. And I was like, that's a bit of a shame.
So, quick question then, because one of the things that you often, when you're interacting with characters in the game, you quite often get like 2 or 3 dialogue choices. Does any of that matter, or is it just literally alternate lines and you end up at the same destination no matter what you choose?
So it matters for trophy hunting, achievement hunting.
Okay, but not in terms of the overarching. It's not like I would expect it to have like a renegade system or something like that.
For example, there's a side character where you get kind of a couple of mini scenes of where you have to take them on dates, and you kind of have to play along to get them to do what you want. If you wanted to go the other way and you made them mad, there's an achievement attached to that kind of thing. It's all to find. You play it the way you think you need to play it to get through the game, and then if you actually kind of break free of that, even though you'll likely end up with the same result, it's usually for an achievement.
Right. So other than the achievements, there's no like fail condition that you can talk yourself into.
I don't think there's a single fail condition. But that's that is traditional with a lot of point and clicks. Sierra kind of breaking the mold on that one. But the old Monkey Island games, you never died in those games. You never had to start again. So yeah, it's just true to the genre, really. I will say for £11.99, I think was what they've put the confirmed price down. I think it's worth that price. I got enough enjoyment out of it. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't tell exactly how long my playthrough was because I was kind of doing 2 simultaneous. My cloud sync wasn't working for some reason, so I was playing one version for so I was playing for capture at home, and then I was playing on the tube on the Steam Deck and my lunch breaks and stuff for the actual game itself. So I was playing a lot of scenarios twice because of that. So and also I've got a tendency to play the game, put it down, and then go do something else and go, oh yeah, I left the game running. So my playthrough says it's 19 and a half hours. I don't think that's right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, $11.99. I think it's going to have a discount for the launch week as well. So even cheaper. And on PC.
I really I'm enjoying my time with it, I have to say. It's I think it's well worth the cash. Only available on Steam at the moment. I'm not sure if there's any plans to bring it to PlayStation, Xbox, or anything like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it does eventually find its way there.
Well, they've got controls already baked into it, so yeah.
Which one?
Slotting over perfectly.
Which one? Yeah, they're serviceable.
It's a bit annoying because so when you want to use the cursor, it's like you're holding down a shoulder button and then you're dragging the cursor around to interact with stuff. The only problem with that is some of the puzzles are kind of time-based and reactive-based, so that is a bit of a pain in the butt. But, I managed to get through the whole game on a Steam Deck, so it can't be that bad. Yeah.
Fair enough. No, it was all good. It was well worth checking out. Definitely, It's a good thumbs up for me for the price. I don't think you can go that wrong, to be honest with you.
No. So that's Earth Must Die. It's coming to PC on Steam on the 27th of January, and we should have a review up on BigRedBarrel.com soon.
Yes. So go check that out. And there is a demo, as we said, available on Steam if you want to see if it tickles your fancy or anything else, generally speaking, in your vicinity. So, yes, go check it out. And that $11.99 is with the 25% launch discount. So after
is it? Okay.
After a little while, it will probably it goes up a little bit.
Okay.
Whatever $11.99.
I need to change some information on my
0.75
review.
is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All righty.
Should we do some news?
That hit me up with the news. I haven't had enough news this week because
you probably have
but just
when you hear the first headline.
Not fun video game news.
Yeah. So following on from last week, we spoke about the layoffs at Ubisoft. Dan, you would not be surprised to hear there are more layoffs at Ubisoft.
Say what?
Exactly, and this is affecting some of the projects along the way. So a bit of a grim one. They've cancelled 6 games, which include the long-suffering Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, which initially
at least that's been put out of its misery.
Yeah, well, that was released for the PlayStation 4 in 2020 to be released in 2021, and then that apparently they scrapped it, started it again, put a teaser out in 2025 to release this year. And now it's been cancelled outright. So
yes.
A bit of a shame.
I think that needed. It's a shame, but I do think that just needed putting out of its misery. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah,
but this is.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, but I mean, this is all kind of based all downstream from the usual kind of corporate nonsense of we've got that's a more selective a AAA market. Development costs are going up. We need a new operating model. We want to focus our portfolio and right-size the organization. Blah 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 blah. But again, I think it's kind of a bit of a. I don't know if I'm being cynical. This is very much feels like the lowest common denominator of what's going to sell, rather than actually pushing games forward as an art form, trying new things, new ways of storytelling. This to me is just, hey, look, let's do possibly let's relaunch the Division and make money off that, because they're doing they're doing an update of that. Sadly,
yeah,
well, not sadly, because it's a good game, but yeah, they're not pushing themselves in terms of doing cool and interesting things, in my personal view.
All right. Along with the 6 cancelled games, they've delayed 7 other games. Apparently not in the cancelled games is Beyond Good and Evil 2. That is still allegedly in the works.
Allegedly.
I was quite surprised to hear. So the line from Ubisoft is, it seems to be that they're now focusing on fewer games, aim higher on quality, and stop releasing things that are just fine, which I swear they said that last year when we were talking about all the stuff with Assassin's Creed Shadows pre-launch, which ended up being a really good game. And that includes killing projects that they weren't going to get anywhere, even if they are close, including Sands of Time. No mention on the long-rumored Black Flags remake, which that had a rumored launch date, but some people think that's now being pushed back to 2027 to coincide with the next financial year. And they're also doing production houses. Like, I think it's 5 different production houses now, splitting up their studios and focusing their talents in different areas. So one house will work on like tactical shooters, one will work on the adventure games, one will work on the live services. So it's very kind of office mentality is the plan they're going for now. And also, would you believe, Dan, they've pulled everyone in from working from home now.
Oh, what a surprise! Because clearly that's going to make people more productive and happier.
It doesn't.
Confirmed, does not.
I've been called back to the office since lockdown lifted, and I was working in the office like on my own throughout much of lockdown. I think the problem they had is they went, hey, this is a good work-life balance and we love to be good to our people, and maybe if we get this away, people stop talking about wanting pay rises and bonuses and things like matching inflation and silly little things. They could work from home. So, it's not going away. okay, well, we're paying for these buildings. Everyone back to the office.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much what it comes to. I think companies who have bought shiny new buildings want that to be populated rather than just being a place to have a vertical herb garden, because that's what architects put in new buildings apparently.
It's very different. I don't know if I can talk about that. I had a tour of a very big building in London, and I remember it's nothing to do with my work. But it was a tour of this building I'd had previous, and they were that kind of like the Google office, bean bags and standing chairs and treadmills and play areas and things like that, like adult playroom.
And three desks for 3,000 employees because you can hot desk.
Yeah, I had
come into the office,
tour.
Please.
I had a similar tour last year, and it was very sparse and not a lot of people working in there, but it was very kind of corporate looking compared to how it was like 5 years ago. So, yeah, the times they are changing.
Indeed, they
anyway,
are.
Back to video games.
But yes, I mean, in terms of kind of the restructure as well, so you mentioned that they're kind of spinning up a couple of like little studios, but they've made Vantage Studios, which I think is looking after Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Far Cry. They've closed.
That was part of the Tencent thing, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. They've also closed Ubisoft Halifax, and despite the fact they're getting ready to push on a remake, I believe it is a remake for the 10th anniversary of The Division. I know I sound very cynical about it's another bloody remake, but The Division was a good game. But they are laying people off at Massive Entertainment as well, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about last week. And the interesting one as well is the kind of project lead over there that was working on Division, shortly after saying that Division 3 is going to be like one of the best games they've ever made, left the Ubisoft like the week later. Crazy.
Yes. So, say more of the same, sadly, in the world of video game business. So there we go. But talking of crazy video game business, Cyberpunk 2077 has had a VR mod that a number of people were really excited about. It's going, look, it's an amazing way.
It's like one of the two big ones.
Yeah, it's such an amazing way to experience the kind of the Cyberpunk universe. But it has been pulled due to a takedown notice issued by CD Projekt Red.
Yes.
So
this has been interesting.
This is an interesting one. So take us away, Coleman, into the realms of interestingness of which you are alleging.
So there is a lot of back and forth going on here. So to begin with, this is the mod from Luke Ross. He is a video games developer, but he does a lot of projects like this and puts them on his Patreon. He did the Real VR framework, and he was saying that Patreon's removed his mod straight away after a DMCA takedown notice from CD Projekt Red, meaning that it vanished before he could properly contest anything. And he basically put a big old diatribe, calling them all greedy corpos, and using a lot of the cyberpunk language back at CD Projekt, and a lot of people rallied behind Luke Ross. So CD Projekt had to come out and say, hey, the problem isn't that you made this mod. We're happy for you to make this mod. We're happy for you to offer it. You put it behind a paywall, and we can't let you charge for our intellectual property. It's a big no-no. And in some countries, if you allow someone else to sell a mod that is on your intellectual property, you are basically endorsing that mod. And if that causes harm to your system or the game or save file, anything like that at all, CD Projekt can be held responsible. So, there are a lot of legalese behind this. Also, in other countries and other parts of the law, you're basically giving up rights to some of your games. It's a big argument that we've had with the Power World stuff with Nintendo recently. So that happened. It's been taken, and everyone's kind of now gone, okay, well, no, not everyone, but a lot of people have now sided on CD Projekt going, yeah, totally see it. That is a valid reason to be doing that. And they even gave him an out. They said, look, if you want to give it away for free, that's absolutely fine. We'll let you do that. And he said, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So now he's now going out and saying, hey, look, my mod's now being pirated. And because my mod's being pirated, so Cyberpunk 2077, which is taking money out your pocket, CD Projekt. This is all on you, and it's all your fault. He's very butthurt about the whole situation. And it is a shame because, like I said, there are two mainline Cyberpunk mods for VR at the moment, and this is like the biggest one.
So it's difficult. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of how he was kind of packaging it and selling it on. I mean,
it was you get so with Patreon. We have the ability, if we were to start a Patreon and we had bonus shows, we could have a feed that you could only access once it's verified your membership and gives you an individual link access. Same with, you can put up special posts or download links or anything like that, and it's all tied to your membership, so you can only access them if you have an active subscription. So even though he's technically not going, give me money, I give you mod, it's give me money, then you have access to download the mod.
No, but what I was getting at was that is he, and I'm being devil's advocate here, because why not?
666.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Number of the pedant. That he's not technically selling anything that CD Projekt have created, correct? He's not reissuing game code or game assets.
I don't. That's very murky.
Yeah.
Dan, I don't know if you know this. I've never tried to make a VR mod, so I don't know the ins and outs there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what's going on. At the end of the day, though, it does seem quite antithetical to the mod scene, where it's all about kind of community working together to find new and cool ways to interact with the games that they love. Whereas this does seem to be, I think if he'd gone, all right, fair enough, look, I've put loads of work into it and I just want people to enjoy it. Here it is, enjoy yourselves. I'll probably be like, all right, fair. It's a shame, nice try, but at least you're not being a dick about it. Whereas I kind of feel they're throwing the toys out with the pram, claiming that, oh, it's not only my stuff that's being pirated. Now it's your game as a result. And that's why I'm kind of like, well, actually, what was it that he created? Is it just a different launcher, effectively, that hooks into the rendering pipeline, or is it has he reverse engineered anything of CD Projekt? But hey, look, there we go. I mean, it's a shame when we get to a situation where we can't have nice things because of belligerency. But there we go.
Well, I mean, the interesting one, I mean, I will look into that, actually, because I do get fascinated about this stuff. I know a big one that Nintendo had with the Legend of Zelda stuff is there were channels that were modding the game. And Nintendo are like very explicit, like, they don't want you adding materials to the game. They don't want you taking materials out of other games and adding it to the game. But there was a particular YouTuber that was making mods that remixed assets within the game, and was still getting taken down by Nintendo, even though that wasn't part of their problem. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm always interested in stuff like that, and just like how the legalese work. So I will look into that. This one is interesting.
Okay.
It's all interesting this week, I guess. Monster Hunter Wilds. This
right.
is I don't think you've played this one, Dan.
I haven't played. Have I played Monster Hunter Wilds? Let me ask. I may have dabbled.
Okay. We had a man called Rick on the show to review it with me.
Yes.
But great game. Looks like arse. Has some really weird performance problems to it. It's very blurry. And talking about the PC version specifically in this case, a lot of people have noticed how poor it runs when you don't have things like frame generation switched on, which do seem like a necessity for this game. So, another modder managed to do some digging around in the code and realized that on the PC version, there is a DLC scan that doesn't run at the start of the game and go, these are the DLCs you want. It periodically scans in the hub area of the game. Something like hundreds of times a minute.
That's
to see how much.
dumb.
Yes. So it's to see what DLC you have installed. So if you purchase some DLC while you're in the hub, it will go, oh, you own that DLC. I'll apply it to your game now, so you don't need to log out and log back in again. To a detrimental effect of the actual game's performance, which isn't great to begin with, let's be honest. And what this scan is doing, so what he's figured out is this scan, it goes, okay, scanning all the available DLC. What do you have? Check it off. If you have all the DLC, The scan, it goes, oh, you got it all done, rather than trying to find what you may have purchased. So it then improves the performance of the game.
Pay to
Only
win.
in the hub area. It's only in the social hub area.
It's still like butts everywhere else, is it?
Yeah, it's still the same everywhere else. But apparently it's just in that kind of social hub area. But it is very funny because so they created a mod to basically go, I've got all the DLC, so just tick all the boxes, and that's the end of the scan. And it improved the frame rate by over 20 frames a second.
Whoops.
Which I find very funny. They put in their findings, sent them off to Capcom. Apparently Capcom have replied, and they're going to run a patch. I think it's on this Monday. So,
right.
But just initially, and there has been a lot of kind of scuttlebutt around this where people have claimed that, you know, this is a big ploy to make Capcom get you to buy DLC so your game will run better. No, I don't think that is the case at all. If it was, it took them a year to figure it out, and don't always mistake maliciousness for stupidity. Is a good way to think about it. Something happened. Something went wrong. This is the Aliens Colonial Marine. Oh, there's a spelling error in a piece of code, and all the AI doesn't work, and we only figured it out like 5 years later.
Yeah, someone did a dum-dum. I think that is the solution here. Is someone did a dum-dum. I mean, I think it's only the PC version, correct, that is plagued by these performance issues, or is it still?
I believe
PS5
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe this one's just PC.
Because I mean, I think it's been absolutely review bombed into oblivion on Steam. People saying a year after release, it still runs like fetid butt water. I am paraphrasing, but yes, it is. You know, it's got no excuse to have the poor levels of performance it does. So I hope that the communities help Capcom diagnose what's going on, and that it will be a better experience for everyone. But yeah, I think is probably the summary of this. I think
I'll have to give it a look in on the PS5 Pro, because I have played it on PS5 Pro, but not since the game's not since the game's launch. So I'd be interested to see how it performs these days, because apparently it's had some optimization patches and things
just on the PC.
Yeah. Well, no, for instance, it's I do like to go back to games and see how they run on PS5 Pro, ones that apparently have been fixed for PS5 Pro when compared to the PS5, and the two Star Wars games, the Jedi Survivor and Outlaws, they don't particularly look that much better on the Pro, I found. So I would be interested to see how it looks. You know, there are some games that run worse on the PS5 Pro than on the
How'd that happen?
PS5. So I think the initial mission statement with the Pro was, hey, you've got a performance mode and a visual mode. This does both at the same time.
Right.
And in some cases, it makes the game run worse.
Okay.
I think Hogwarts Legacy was one that was really badly affected. Silent Hill FS, what was that one? F? I think it was F.
Silent Hill FFS.
I can't remember the name of it. A really good game, but again, had technical issues on the Pro. So I need to go through a few games and see how they run now. Rockstar Games. This has come up.
What have they done now?
Times, so what have they done now? This one. Well, they've had an interesting week. So first of all, they had careful how you phrase things, but they had a boiler explosion in their, I believe it's their Edinburgh office. Are they in Edinburgh or Glasgow?
Right.
Forget.
A boiler explosion.
They had a boiler room explosion, which is incredibly dangerous. Boilers exploding can level buildings.
Yes,
luckily,
there is a lot of energy in said boilers.
Yeah, this happened like 3 a.m, so no one was hurt, which very thankful for. People take this the very wrong way, and all I've seen online is, I guess that means GTA is going to be delayed even longer.
Newsflash, it was going to be delayed even more anyway, I suspect.
Well, I mean, they've had to come out and say it doesn't affect the development of the game. But also, I've seen clickbaity kind of YouTube things where they've used AI to take the offices and make it look like they're burning so they can claim that's the real photo. And then, it's gross. So let's talk about something nice about Rockstar, because it's been a while. I feel.
Yes.
Yeah. But so they've reportedly arranged for an early play section of Grand Theft Auto 6 for a terminally ill fan who might not make it to launch. So this all came from a LinkedIn post and Ubisoft Toronto developer Anthony Armstrong. That went viral, and it apparently reached Stras Zelnick himself of Take-Two Interactive, who then pulled the strings and arranged for a special play session. And that fan has then reached out to say thank you very much, and I think that's a very nice thing.
Oh, that's good
No
on
jokes.
you, Rockstar.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you. No, that's not. That is a genuinely lovely thing.
And we're not
Good.
even going to look at it in any kind of cynical way. It's just a nice thing that's happened.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I like it when nice things happen.
I like it when nice things happen. Let's have
I
more
do like
nice
it when nice
things.
Let's have more nice things. Unfortunately, though, it's not all nice things. And I must
Depends how you
admit,
look at
well, this is true. I must admit, I misread this headline and thought it was something to do with what's going on in Davos at the moment. But it was New World set to close in 2027. I was like, oh God, what's Trump done now? Turns out it's actually just the Amazon Games MMO that was never really that successful.
It's interesting because like Amazon Games and Amazon and Google both kind of made this real big hard pivot into we're going to be game developers. Like we're going to have all these studios and we're all this talent, and it all just fell in on itself. But probably the biggest success that Amazon Games has had is New Worlds. And now they've announced, and they did a big push last year for their DLC expansion as well. But they've announced it's officially shutting on January 31st, 2027. So you've got just over a year to play if you really want to. It's already been delisted, so no new players coming in, but existing ones. I think I have that game because I'm pretty sure they gave it away to a bunch of people at one point.
I'm sure
but existing
I've got that lurking somewhere.
Yeah, but you can keep playing it through 2026. And the current Nighthaven season has been stretched out, extended for that purpose as well. So Amazon's framing it as a farewell rather than pulling the plug overnight, which is about as gentle and as hopeful as you can be. It's kind of isn't that what we had for Anthem as well? They gave it like a year before they pulled the plug on it as well, although in some cases
they did, but pull the plug on it, they did.
Yeah. And they gave it a real big go. I don't know if you've watched the secret level stuff that Amazon put out.
No, I haven't.
Interesting anthology show where they basically every episode is a different video game. And they're all actual video games, which some hilarity, one of them was Concord, which was commissioned before the game came out and came out, and the episode aired after the game was cancelled. So very interesting. But they do have a New World episode that stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as a voice actor. So yeah, it's a really good episode as well, actually. But yeah, it was a shame. I remember, I know if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get given a lot of DLCs and free games and things. And I've always put the New World stuff in my basket because I keep thinking at some point I might jump into this. I've missed a good MMO.
I have to say, I always keep forgetting about what was Prime Gaming, but now I think it's Lunar Gaming. Because
let's play some. Let's stream some games to our phone, Dan.
Woo! It's 2009 all over again, and I'm very excited. I kind of feel like I ought to make more out of that because they do have stuff that you can claim on GOG.com. You can get Fallout and Fallout 2 at the moment, so it appears.
Oh yeah, I've got those on GOG.
So yeah, and like go 2K Drive on the Epic Store, and New Tales from the Borderlands as well. There was some good stuff there.
Yes, GOG got sold away from CD Projekt as well while we were away. I forgot about that. But I will say the COO of Facepunch Studios, Alistair McFarlane, he has publicly offered to buy the game off of Amazon so he can keep New World going. So who knows?
What a guy. What a guy.
Maybe he sees the potential in revenue that is more sustainable to a Facepunch Studios over an Amazon.
I kind of always got the feeling that Amazon, the half their play was like, screw it, we're running the cloud backend for all of these things anyway. We may as well just make our own.
I think that was it. Yeah. They were like, we've got AWS. And at the time, I mean, they are still big business, but, there are other competitors at this point. But AWS at the time they were announcing their big kind of movement into video games, it was the big I am. So everyone's we might screw it. We might as well do it ourselves. And they had some big names on board. What's her name from Assassin's Creed fame, the original? Jay Raymond? Is that her name?
I really thought you were about to say Jay Goody there for a moment for some reason.
Jade Goody, rest in peace.
Christ. Right, my brain is officially toast.
Well, then let's get out of here, Dan, after we do some plugs.
Let's do some plugs. You know what I should plug? My
Go on,
face. That's right, my face. You can buy my face, not my actual face, because I have a need for that on the day-to-day. But you can buy a representation of my face, which may or may not resemble my current face, but maybe my face approximately 32 years ago.
Eating my dust.
Right then. So if you want in when I was in my prime, and you want the representation
Amazon
of me, in my prime about your personages, that's where you can do so at bigredbarrel.com/store. Buy my face.
I think that was the most rambling version of that you've ever done.
Yes, it was. Buy my face.
We've got merch over at bigredbarrel.com/store. That'll take you over to our store, and you can buy shirts and cups and stickers and all kinds of cool things to help support us.
All with my face on.
I think they all support Tim, but that's not a bad thing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Tabletop Tuesday is still on hiatus, but you can still go over to Big Red Barrel. And I've heard from some reputable sources that a lot of the folks that go to Tabletop Tuesdays are still just going on a Tuesday and playing tabletop games at Tabletop Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke, Newington. Keep the dream alive, guys. We don't have any featured games while Tim is out of action, but you can still go out, hang out, check out the bar, check out some games. They have a big library of games there. I took my partner there a couple of months ago, and they just had shelves and shelves of tabletop games to try out. You can find more on the button on the homepage of bigredbarrel.com, or you can alternatively go to meetup.com/table-top-Tuesdays. That will take you to
Blended.
Tabletop
And,
Tuesdays.
it's just a nice place to go, quite frankly, the Loading Bar. So trundle along on a Tuesday or any other day with a Y in it, but Tuesday's probably best.
Yes, and let me tell you about another nice place to go, Dan. It's bigredbarrel.com. That is the website that hosts this here podcast, as well as other things. We have reviews, we have trailers, we have this podcast, not many others.
Yeah.
We have the archives of all the other podcasts because there hasn't been new episodes in a very long time.
But there's quite a lot. There is literal months of entertainment on bigredbarrel.com.
Yeah.
So I thoroughly recommend that you trundle over there and pour some audio goodness into your ear holes. What you should do.
Yes, go read all the articles. Like I say, I'll have a Earth Must Die review coming up soon. I've got some ideas. I've been getting back into writing, Dan. Got some ideas.
I've noticed. I have, and I've been. I'm dusting off my editing pen as a result. It's all deeply exciting.
You keep that pen away from that apple.
Yeah.
Apple pen.
Don't make me. Don't.
He's
don't
back.
Make me.
He's back,
Is he
Dan.
back?
And now he's got like K-pop boy bands with him. Picataro's back, Dan. He's not in the charts, but he's back in our hearts.
Oh my God!
I'll send you a link after.
Yeah, please do.
And if you want to get in contact with us, go to Discord at bigredbarrel.com/Discord. That will whisk you away to our special Discord where you can chat to us. Bit of chatter going on this week. Who knew that pulling out a random T-Rex puppet on the podcast would find out that one of our listeners has a YouTube channel where they play with puppets, and now I have to check this out. They sent me a link. I'm going to check it out while I'm editing this show. So that's what I'll be doing tonight.
Well, there we go. You do you.
And we've been talking about we've been memorializing the long legacy that will now be Anthem, EA's Anthem, BioWare's Anthem. May it rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Anthem. Sadly, no longer worth $1.99.
How much is a coaster, do you reckon? I've bought coasters that are more than £2 at like souvenir shops. Yeah. I've got some amazing Scottish ones. One says Skyver, and it has all the kind of word for Skyver, and Numpty. Has the pronunciation, the phonetic spelling, and then the description of Numpty.
Amazingly, people are still selling Anthem for actual money.
How much? Because I might flog my copy if that's the case.
On Music Magpie
Is this a
store,
Concord type deal where it was going for like hundreds of pounds?
$2.99 pre-owned.
Nah.
If you've got the Legion of Dawn edition, £6.62 pre-owned.
Ooh, I might get one.
Yeah. Just in
How
case.
much is Concord these days, Dan?
Oh my God, someone's actually selling it on eBay right now for £16.86.
Brilliant. Concord?
No, Anthem.
Oh, I was going to say. I might get one just for S's and G's.
And what did you want me to look up?
Concord. Let's do that before we go. This is riveting.
I know, right? Live Googlage. A Concorde flight simulator. You can get that.
No.
It's £24.95 if you're an idiot.
Oh my God.
That is an idiot tax.
I'm a poor idiot.
Someone's like, PS5, PlayStation 5 Concorde game rare. It's been pulled from shelves. It's a collector's edition. Give me £52.69. No. Oh my God. A sealed copy is currently going for £741.21.
I might just print a cover and stick it in an old case.
Why are people so stupid?
It's the world we live in, Dan.
Why? Why do we encourage this nonsense?
No idea.
Why?
I've seen some projects to try and get it back. We'll see. Go on, Dan.
I'm going sold. I'm enraged.
Uh-oh.
I'm incensed. No.
Dan, come
What?
back, Dan.
What? Why are people selling it?
People said I was dumb, but I
Why
proved
has someone
them.
bought a copy of this game for £161? What is up with people? This is why we can't have nice things. God damn it.
Come back, Dan. Come back to the podcast.
I'm back. I'm back in the room.
We've got to wrap
It's
up.
fine. That has been it. Sorry, I had a moment there. I can only apologize. Thank you for coming along and listening to us. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you go to all the places on the internet that Coleman told you about, especially those beginning with BigRedBarrel.com. We hopefully will be back next week with hopefully some stuff to talk about. And even if we don't have stuff to talk about, we probably will have we'll talk about stuff anyway. So if that isn't a riveting, exciting advertisement for what awaits future you in a week's time, well, I frankly don't know what else could be or what else could get your excitement. So we're going to go until that time. And all that's really left to do is to remind you that I have been Dan.
I have been Volman, 2 V's.
Yeah, 2 V's. Yeah, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you ever so much for coming along. Thank you for listening to us. And until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
Your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarrel.com.
Spice Marine 2. Now, I didn't get... the only way I played the first game was on the... on live. Now showing my age and showing the age.
Wow.
Of the game.
Yeah, that is. I don't even know what that is as a young whippersnapper.
You don't even